He stood in the Hall of Choosing, while banners of many worlds glowed softly above polished stone floors, and silent observers watched from curved balconies. The council had told him humanity needed a bond beyond trade, beyond treaties, and beyond fear. He was a courier, soldier, scholar, and symbol, all at once selected because he looked ordinary enough to be trusted and stubborn enough to survive. When they told him to select a wife among delegates, he felt the weight of history settle calmly upon his shoulders without trembling, though his future suddenly felt wider, stranger, brighter than any star. Across the chamber stood beings shaped by gravity, oceans, storms, and suns far unlike Earth forms. Some were tall and glass-skinned, others floated on fields of light, and several hid behind breathing veils. He was given no guidance, only a quiet signal, and a moment to choose. He lifted his hand, feeling foolish, and let it fall in a random arc. The finger settled toward a slender blue figure crowned with living crystal, and the room inhaled as one while elders stared and translators flickered wildly around the startled delegates and guards alike, in sudden shared disbelief silence together. The chosen figure stepped forward, revealing calm eyes and posture of trained command. She was no common envoy, but a princess named Mira, heir to a spiral realm older than recorded human flight. Her skin shimmered softly, and her voice carried musical clarity when she accepted the bond without protest. The council erupted in layered debate, while he simply bowed, unsure whether fate laughed or tested him. Mira studied him with curiosity rather than anger, as if chance itself amused her deeply within. The bright hall of witnesses and humming machines, recording history being rewritten by impulse alone that day. Protocol bent under necessity, and the binding was declared provisional until mutual consent could be confirmed. They were given time to gather aboard a neutral vessel drifting between stars. He learned she commanded fleets, studied art, and valued patience. She learned humans survived by adapting faster than fear could spread. Their conversations flowed through translators, yet meaning often passed without words. Shared meals, laughter, and quiet observation formed trust neither council had. Predicted during slow orbits, where windows showed endless night, pierced by fragile lights of distant homes, awaiting news of their union and its consequences for countless lives beyond measure. Challenges followed, as factions opposed the match, seeing humanity as reckless and untested. He faced trials of logic, endurance, and empathy set by alien jurists. Mara stood beside him, offering counsel without dominance. When threats emerged from pirates seeking leverage, humans responded with decisive coordination, creativity, and sacrifice. He led a small crew, using obsolete drives and daring maneuvers to protect the vessel, earning respect through action rather than heritage. Mira watched him risk himself for strangers, and her regard changed into something warmer, steadier, rooted in trust born from shared danger and swift human resolve under fire. That night, news spread across networks that humanity fought not for dominance, but for allies. They repaired what they broke, shared food, taught songs, and learned alien customs without mockery. Mira revealed her people valued balance above conquest and feared humans might disrupt it. He answered by showing restraint, turning victory into protection, not expansion. The provisional bond became partnership witnessed by crews who began to believe in something larger than origin species, as human adaptability blended with ancient wisdom, forging stability neither culture could achieve alone amid uncertain times. Ahead for all star traveling peoples involved within the accord now forming. During a crisis near a collapsing star, evacuation demanded impossible calculations. Human engineers improvised with scrap code and intuition, guiding thousands to safety. Mira coordinated relief with serene authority, trusting his people fully. Success silenced remaining doubters. The council reconvened and offered permanence instead of provisional delay. He did not hesitate, yet waited for her answer. She smiled, a gesture learned from humans, and accepted before witnesses as history recorded. A choice born of chance, now sealed by earned faith, between species once strangers, now partners, standing together beneath shared starlight and law of cooperation freely chosen by both. Celebration was modest, focused on meaning rather than spectacle. He reflected on the random point that changed everything, realizing humans often leapt into unknowns and built bridges while falling. Mara admitted she admired that courage unburdened. By long memory, together they drafted terms protecting smaller worlds and encouraging shared exploration. Their union became symbol and engine for cooperation, reminding the galaxy that humanity best thrived when daring met compassion without arrogance, or fear, choosing to stand beside others rather than above them in endless frontier filled with risk, wonder, and opportunity, awaiting brave hearts across the stars ahead, always onward. Years later, children learned the tale in schools across many systems. It was taught not as romance alone, but as lesson in choice and responsibility. He remained a traveler, Mira a leader, yet they met often sharing counsel and laughter humanity earned. A reputation for fairness, speed, and loyalty. The random point became proverb meaning decisive hope. In uncertain times, citizens remembered how a simple gesture reshaped destiny and how humans faced the vast unknown by stepping forward together. With open hands, steady eyes, and willingness to learn, adapt, and protect those they chose as family among the stars beyond. The galaxy continued to test alliances with storms, wars, and mysteries. Humanity answered by listening first, then acting with resolve. Mira ensured balance, while humans supplied momentum, neither dominated because both valued consent. The story endured. Because it was repeatable, any human could choose cooperation over fear, and any world could accept. The Hall of Choosing became museum visited by pilgrims seeking courage from the example of a single moment when trust replaced caution, and strangers became allies, shaping futures through shared purpose, resilience, and belief in unity. Beyond borders and biology, alone for generations yet to come onward together. He aged as humans do, carrying stories like tools. Mira remained luminous, marked by time differently, yet steadfast. Their bond adapted across years, anchored by respect. When he finally stepped aside from travel, humanity stood taller, integrated, and confident. The princess spoke at his farewell, honoring his courage not as hero, but as representative of a people willing to risk embarrassment for peace by trusting instinct tempered with empathy, choosing dialogue backed by action when required, ensuring survival without surrender of values that defined them among countless cultures, watching and learning from that example across eras. The head still remembered fondly. She later addressed young leaders, explaining that randomness alone was nothing without integrity. What mattered was how humans honored the choice afterward. Through care, effort, and accountability, the alliance flourished, bringing shared science. Medicine and art worlds, once isolated, now exchanged students and ships. Humanity never claimed superiority, only partnership. That humility disarmed ancient rivalries and built a network resilient against future threats, ensuring survival through cooperation rather than conquest, reinforcing belief that strength multiplied when shared freely with respect across differences. Great and small alike, under endless skies filled with promise and challenge alike, beyond borders imagined before then. The original hall faded into legend, but its lessons stayed alive. A human once pointed randomly and accepted responsibility fully. That combination defined the species, curious, bold, adaptable, and loyal. The princess became ambassador of balance. Courier became myth. Yet the future they shaped belonged to millions, who chose bridges daily, proving the story was never about luck alone, but about what followed after chance, when commitment guided actions and courage sustained trust across time. Distance and fear transforming coincidence into covenant strong, enough to carry civilizations forward together with hope, steady purpose, and mutual care enduring long after. In archives across space, A tale was indexed as first contact marriage, yet readers knew it was more. A demonstration of human spirit meeting alien grace without conquest or submission. The galaxy learned that humanity's strength was not force, but willingness to stand beside others and build patiently. Mira legacy endured as symbol of trust, freely given and carefully kept across generations, shaping diplomacy, trade, and shared defense agreements that protected the vulnerable and restrained the powerful equally through consensus and empathy learned from one improbable choice made openly without calculation, yet honored with diligence every day after that moment. Statues were raised not of the couple, but of an outstretched hand. Children touched it before journeys, reminding themselves bravery begins with openness. Humans carried that symbol wherever they traveled. When asked about dominance, they answered with service. The alien princess world prospered alongside Earth, neither eclipsing the other. Together, they faced the unknown as partners, writing chapters yet unwritten, guided by lessons born from chance, embraced with honor, curiosity, and resolve to protect life in all its forms across stars, old and new, forever linked by trust, chosen freely once and renewed daily by action, faith, and shared future. Scholars debated whether destiny existed or if humans simply created meaning. Either way, the result stood: resilient alliances and fewer wars. The princess often said humans made courage contagious. They leapt and built wings,